this video, I'm going to show you how to make your character's head face the mouse cursor. We're going to do this by setting an object to always be at the mouse cursor point, and then rotate the player's head towards this object. Begin by creating a new blueprint class. Add something visible, like a sphere, and set its size to be around 0.4. The important thing here is for it to be visible and to turn off the collision. Go to your character's event graph and add a begin play node. From this, add a player controller reference and set the mouse cursor visibility to be true. Also, spawn the actor we just created and split the transform. Next, add a tick node and add a convert mouse location to world space subnode. Connect it like I do here. The amount to multiply will depend on the distance from your character's camera to the character. Add an isValid node and connect it to the actor. Then, from the isValid, drag out a setActorLocation node and set it to be the actor. Set the location to be the mouse vector. Now we'll spawn this actor and set it to be wherever the mouse is. But we need to make sure that the actor is right above the character. It's a little bit to the right. Tweak the multiply value until you get the right distance between your character and the object. Now we have to make the character's head rotate towards the actor. Create a new rotation variable and call it something like head rotation. Set the value at the end of the code and split the value. Add a find look at rotation subnode and split this as well. Connect the start to get actor location subnode and the target to the mouse location vector. The value here returns 0, but in the next part of our code we need to tweak the x. So connect the y into the x like I do here. Next, open up your character animation blueprint. Go to the event graph, cast your character's class either by using a player character subnode or connect to the try-get-pawn-owner node. Either works fine. Get the rotator variable we just created in the character class. Create a new variable and call it something like head rotation. Connect the x value to the variable. Go to the anim graph and get a transform bone node. Set the bone and modify to be the head. Scroll down to rotation and set the rotation mode to add to existing. Now, if we put something in the rotation, the head will rotate. Split the rotation and connect our rotation variables x to this x. Now the head will rotate, but it's inverted. A good trick to fix this is to multiply our rotation by -1. Now, the head works perfectly for me, but you might encounter something like this, where the head isn't properly aligned to the mouse vector. Now, if you do encounter this, there's a simple fix, and that is simply to add or subtract some of the rotation until you find the perfect rotation. Now the head rotation works, but if we rotate to the other side, the player will not rotate. So, if you would like the player to rotate with the cursor, then we'll need to add some additional code. We need to set the player's rotation to face the object, but since we're doing this on a side scroller, we need the rotation to either be right or left. So to do this, connect a branch and check if the z value on the find look at rotation subnode equals or is greater than 10. If it is, set the character's rotation to be 90, and if it isn't, set it to be -90. So the reason we promote this to a float variable instead of using a rotation variable is because for some reason, if you want to adjust the other rotational axes, it won't work. But if you connect it separately using a float, then you can rotate the head to the other directions as well. So if you wanted to rotate the head left or right, for example, you can create a new variable and connect the z to it. What settings you use will depend on your game. You can also choose another bone, like the spine for example. This will look way cooler with the weapon.